Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is to test this hard drive right here that came. I think it's going to be easier this way, like this. Something I already have contacted AliExpress about, and they just don't understand. They don't understand. I posted them videos on the YouTube, contact them. And let me demonstrate you basically what this request in process looks like. This is pretty insane because they don't really consider answers that you give them. They have their own, the way they view the whole thing. Basically they see it whichever way they want to see it. I explained this to the AliExpress representatives already on it was the same thing with the tablet that I purchased. I filed right here the first request, return request. I filed right here. It was on December the 13th, 2025. That was 3 days ago. And I gave them all the information they needed. I gave them a video. I uploaded them a video, a nice video.
Yeah, this is just double smart tests.
I gave them the video. I gave them everything the way it completes 90%, but it will not complete under any circumstances the entire.
I don't think this were this, but you will see other tests.
It just doesn't do the job. It completes 90% of it, and that's all that is. The hard drive, we are talking about this kind of hard drive here. Let me demonstrate to you. I'm going to be using Android to complete today a project. This kind of hard drive, that's exactly what we are talking about. This is a 1 terabyte Somnambulist 3.0 2.5 SATA internal case hard drive. Cannot even complete manufacturer test. This hard drive is not capable to complete self-test. It is so poor that when you perform the self-test on one, you cannot even complete the self-test on this thing. This baby just gets up to 90% and then it stalls right there, and you can go for days waiting to complete the last 10%, which it never ever completes. Today I will actually video record this stuff. This is why I have prepared like this, so that you can see the screen, you can see the whole thing, hopefully. Occasionally I realize it gets frozen, the screen, but you have to be patient, and the main part about this stuff is for you to observe the screen. That's what we are doing. We are concerned about the screen. That's what we want to do, is we want to video record the screen itself. I want a little bit, maybe even too far here. Might not even have to go this far to get things going. Can be a little bit closer, maybe like that. Yeah, because what I want is I want you to see the so that I don't have anything connected to the computer. This is like a very important thing for me. This, in fact, is the hard drive we are testing. Hard drive in question, which you're going to see, it's going to display anyways on the screen. It can't be any other hard drive, and I already provided entire video of opening the package so it could be seen. Probably I should have done a better job, more professional job when I was doing this stuff. Maybe so, maybe not, I don't think so. The hard drive already had 17 hours of use before I even opened the package. It's not supposed to be that way. You cannot sell the hard drives unless you tell people that the hard drives are you're selling a used hard drive, with a 17 hours of use, this is just not the way. So this is basically, this is the hard drive that you see right there. I need you to see this thing here. Okay, there's nothing connected. What you see here is just a USB for the telephone, for the smartphone. That's what this is. So I use that one to boost the energy to the smartphone. And this is so much better, more clear, everything that you can see that, you know, that's exactly what we have going on. But you can see right now, you can see that this is the only hard drive that is connected to the laptop, and that's how we proceed to do this online tests, where you can see basically about what goes on. Now, the only thing I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take 3 world times before I start testing this 1 terabyte in size hard drive. There are 2 hard drives. One is a local C, and we also have this one here. And now what we're going to do is I'm going to take the I'll just take the basically this is just a little history about me doing my best to explain these people that this is not a new hard drive, me doing my best to explain these people that you know, I gave them a video of entire unpackaging of the item, and during the unpackaging itself, I demonstrated these people that this is exactly the hard drive in question. So I don't understand what the hell they don't understand, because a factory test, you know, own self-test that manufacturer should, you know, of the hard drive, you know, but just based on manufacturer, it's not even the third party or whatever, it's just a self-test. It should be capable to complete, and it doesn't. It just goes to 90%. And next to the brainwash that I was brainwashed with, these people just insisted that they are not gonna replace the hard drive, and you know, you're gonna have to eat the money, basically throw the money in a trash bin for a useless product. And I think that's not a proper way to communicate with the people. I don't think that this is the way to do it. They offer as a possible solutions myself to send a hard drive to China. The first thing the Chinese did is, before they even started with this AliExpress and all this, what they did was they invested enormously into a transport, you know, to have ability to deliver in the cheapest way possible to the Europe. And it's something that we don't have in Europe, in the US, or other parts of the world. We don't have the ability to send this back for a price they pay in China when they do global shipping, you know. And so now if I would go and I would return this back to China, it would cost me probably more than a hard drive. You know, the price would probably be, I don't know, maybe 20 euros or something like that for the return. And I would get basically refunded then maybe 13 euros if I would get refunded anything, you know. I would not want to do the stuff like this. I believe that it's a job of the seller to cover the costs of merchandise, which is not new. In fact, it's used and advertised as new. This is the stuff you just don't do. Let's go and we will talk about a little bit more. I dedicated the post here about the Chinese communism, on how their apparatchiks who were coming here inside of our house, how they view the sale of this hard drive. basically like this. So if you're gonna take time to translate this stuff, fine, you can do so, but basically this is how they do it. That's how they view this whole thing is, and since they're so nice, they were so nice of doing all these things, I'm gonna return back also with a favor. I was quiet about the Chinese communism. I didn't want to do stuff. Didn't want to have anything to do with them. But it looks like they're persistent in their corruption, and they get really, really well along with their Western Illuminatis. Basically, they always, when they target certain person from any system, they are always in agreement with the system, whatever the person is targeted. You know, they don't do anything on their own. They are always in agreement, or even do it on behalf, like is the case with the Slovenia. They do it in behalf of the system. So they are not only selling the merchandise that is defective, that is damaged, but what they do is they also harm person in the process, in agreement basically with the system, country, wherever the targeted person is located. That's the Chinese, that's the truth about the Chinese business, about the AliExpress, Alibaba, Temu, and everything else. Now, let's go, and what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna go ahead and I will have this hard drive tested based on desired what can I say? By the manufacturer alone. You know, I think that the manufacturer alone should be the one that should here is in Beijing in China. It's right now like close to midnight. And we can also do some New York stuff like this. We can do that stuff. We can do this stuff like this so that we know exactly when this stuff happened, how it all happened. But yeah, the most important is local here in the city of the Novo Mesto, because yeah, they did go through that system. So with my presenting the case, and this is the hard drive right here, that I will do is I will do it like this, and the rest of it, what I will do, I'm just gonna go like this. Yeah, I am just gonna have this sit here a little bit till I complete this whole thing. To make sure there won't be anything special left up there. Close this stuff. Don't want to have that stuff eaten, and at the same time that's good enough for me. I will be keeping this baby open just for the information about exactly what we are testing. Let's go to the testing procedure. Let's go to test 1 terabyte in size, the hard drive known as Somnambulist. The Somnambulist, there you go. This is what you can buy through the AliExpress. It will cost you $40, 40 euros, not dollars. Maybe cheaper for America, who knows, but yeah, that's what this baby here is. Let me demonstrate you what I got. For original unpackaging and everything, all you gotta do is you have to see the video of unpackaging, during which I already started to test, and during, you know, it becomes visible. It has 17 hours of use. It's not capable to perform its own basic testing procedure. Let's go to the business. Let me demonstrate you a hard drive that is in question. One more time. You see the baby here. You see the laptop. You don't see anything connected to it. You don't see anything connected anywhere to it. That's that. That's just actually we can do is we can actually bye-bye. We can do it like this, and it's immediately happier here. Okay, so that you can see the whole thing so beautifully. You can see, you can't go wrong with this stuff. You can see exactly what is connected. This baby here is connected, none other. What exactly is that baby? What is that thing right there? What is it? I mean, what we got is, you can see it right there. It indicates as 698.6 gigabyte hard drive. This is a health is 100%. The temperature is 22%. And it says the free space is 931.5 gigabyte is in size of this baby. I can't wait. Let's put it to the test. I'm using a freaking Wi-Fi Droid version because I have Windows 8 and it's very difficult to go through OBS with all that BS that you can otherwise get it done easily. You otherwise can get this stuff easily done, but not in my case because I'm using Windows 8. USB cable is a way better option than Wi-Fi, but it's gonna do it. I'm very confident that you can see the stuff I do good enough that it's gonna do the job. So this is basically known, this program is known as a Hard Disk Sentinel, exactly the way you see it, Pro version. And we're gonna do this one here. We're gonna do this random, it says random success surface test, extended self-test. Extended self-test, this shit we would have to wait very, very, very long time. Too long. Selected disk only, yeah. I don't understand what the hell this shit is. Available only after registration, activation. Shit. So this one here, it's not gonna be. This is one that's not gonna do it. Let's go. We have the next one. It's gonna be C Tools. We avoid that one. I find a better solution to that one, whatever the case might be. We have another one here. Let's just do this. And we have another one here, which is also Seagate Tools. We're gonna test both of them. One works with the Microsoft C++, the other one with the Microsoft Net. Yeah, I accept this stuff here, and we have both of them right here ready. So the one in question is basically this one here. Its name is J Micron Generic. You know, J Micron Generic is the name, 02, whatever that is. James Bond model. Let me do a little bit. Let me a little bit demonstrate you. You know, that's the disk right there. The name is J Micron, and that's they say a basic short drive cell test. We're gonna do this one. Let's do it. So you know, it might be not good the first time the way I did this stuff, but the second time you can trust me, it's gonna be done to, you know, top of the line basically when it comes to testing the stuff, when it comes to testing it. I'll make sure that you get state-of-the-art video. I'm not that knowledgeable about the computers and all that stuff, but I'm not that stupid. You know, I can get it done too. Yeah, you need to see this red light, you know. So the 30%, as you see, completed, and this is going to be the story all the way to 90%, and then at 90% is going to stall and nothing ever is going to happen. The first program basically that failed is Blue Sea Tools for Windows. We're gonna do it. If it's, I don't know what the hell happened with this Sentinel. This used to be a good program. Now I guess that I have to pay the money or whatever they want. I'm not paying no fucking money for it. Seagate is a good company that's reputable. And let me demonstrate you basically what I was sold, so that we get immediately to the bottom to this stuff. So 80%, as you see, beautiful, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80%, you know? And at 80%, what it does is it's kaput. Actually, 90%, it's over. Here is where the problem starts. This is where the problem starts. The Chinese Communist Party members argued with Americans this issue, claiming that if it performs a basic Windows test, that it's okay, it's solved. This is not the way it is. This is not the way it works, basically. The most basic testing feature is the file from the manufacturer. That's basically a self-test procedure for which every disk is also designed. And if it cannot pass even the factory, the basic short test, that means the hard drive is a fuck up. That means that the hard drive is not going to last. That means that hard drive eventually is going to fail. They claimed later that they tested and it was all good, that it was good my ass. It's crazy because I trusted the hard drive purchase. As you know, the hard drive is about as sensitive as it can get. Here is, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to turn the clock on like this because I don't want you to go stupid here. And what I will do is I'm going to wait 5 minutes for the 10% to complete. If it's not going to complete in the last 10% within 5 minutes, I'm going to say fuck off and we're going to move into the next program. They argued this stuff. Chinese communist leaders argued this stuff with Americans. They had a problem with this stuff because they obviously created enormous quantity of these hard drives, yes, and these hard drives, obviously defective, they had to sell them to the people around the world. So now giving up on a single case, it appears, would be a problem for selling the rest of the stack. They stocked themselves with the garbage, basically. And so they took a strong stand against refunding the money. You know, they negotiated inside of this house, inside of this home, inside of this room, kitchen area here with Americans, argued about the quality and, you know, credibility of something that is in my case was even in use for 17 prior hours. That's crazy. That's crazy. How do I know that this is not okay? I know that this is not okay because I was also sold another hard drive, you know, another hard drive which has a 500 gigabyte in size, and when I tested one, it came with a 0 hours and also was capable to pass the self-short test. Not the long one, it failed the long test, but at least it passed the short test. It should also pass the long test, and because it did not, I would recommend everybody out there to stay the fuck away from this Chinese-made hard drives, because it's a garbage. The police from Novo Mesto station examined and tested these hard drives from China, and they did realize that with the smaller size hard drives, Chinese-made hard drives, those even worked efficiently in ratio, price-value ratio, you know what I mean? As a backup option we are talking about. None of the police officers, however, would go and give a green light on using one for his own purpose, for his own purposes, if you understand me. So we are almost now 5 minutes out there doing the last 10%, and those last 10% are just not gonna happen. I waited for the last 10% as much as 25-30 minutes, and I might actually even do it one time during the course of this test, but I ain't gonna be fucking doing this right now. We're gonna go through, and I'm gonna use, as I will be using also other programs. Chinese had a problem. They claimed that the testing companies, the companies that do the tests, like software, Chinese Communist Party members, top leadership had a problems claiming that that the self-testing programs, American, Western programs, they do not work very good, etc., etc. Then they started to argue that if it's going to be from some known company, a reputable company, that then it's going to be okay if it's not going to work, you know. But based on what I see, they don't take it, not one way or the other. Thank you so much. You can see right there, drive status short DST fail. Thank you, thank you, thank you. J Micron generic. Let me demonstrate you. We don't have to wait no more. You can see that it did not even pass the short examination. Look at it. You see it? So just as you're not gonna say that, and it's stuck at 90%, it goes on to do the job 90% like this, and then what it does, it stucks like that, right there. You see it? Fail? Fail is fail. Look, you see this here? Fail. Simply fail. That's all there is. 90% complete fail. So we got one beautiful, beautiful, thank you very much to the Seagate program. Complete very nicely. Seagate tools. If you have a Windows 8, make sure that you get yourself C tools for Windows 8 and install, instead of Microsoft C+, install yourself a net, and it's gonna work to you just fine. So check antivirus, boot, drive properties, Microsoft System Tools, system information, device manager, disk management, system properties. Let me see this here. This is just this is basically just that's what this stuff here is. This is just the hard drive from the Windows option that demonstrates you. Let me see where we can get nothing. We get this. This is all we get. It's the name is J Micron generic, and the other one, the X-ray disk, that's 4.8, 480 gigabyte SSD drive. That's my other hard drive that I'm using, the C C drive, that's what that is, you know. So you could even go and rescan this stuff here, and what I can do is I can demonstrate you basically voila, like this. This is exactly what this stuff was. I will say goodbye and thank you to this one here, and what we will do is I am going to close this baby here. I'm going to take another baby here, and we're going to use the C tools, this one here. Okay, and so we have the X-ray disc, and we have also this baby here, just the way you see it, 750 whatever that is, generic USB. I like to get some name and stuff like this before we're gonna start doing that. It's called the generic 750 gigabytes, and they don't tell much anything other. They don't. Let me see this here. Security frozen. Security supported. Yes. Power's on now. It's 21. Smart. Whatever the hell that is. 21 hours now of work. What the hell is here to say about this stuff here? Is like anything else here that I would indicate? We're gonna get more information as we go along, but right now let's not waste our time. Let's just go and do let's do a little bit more dance here. So this is 2 C gates we're gonna do. So we have this one here. We're gonna do the self-test. Boom. So the short self-test, it says it's failed here. Why the hell would it self-test? Why the hell would its short self-test failed? Why? Maybe this is not compatible. Maybe it's not good enough. I'm not excluding this shit. I'm gonna take it off. We have other programs, better programs that we can use, and that's exactly what we're gonna be using. Let's go, and we're gonna use this one here. So we have this one here. Again, you see it, it's right here. And you get also all the data about this baby here. This is the one we want to test. So we're gonna do this here. This is 512. I don't know. Let's see if I can. Smart information. Spin time. Huh. Shit, I would expect it would give me some idea here about the power on time is here, 21 hours. There you go. There you go, 21 hours now. I would prefer to get information about when the hard drive was tested first. This appears that this shit, once you start it, I don't even know what that is. But I tested it already before, and before I would like to test this stuff, it would be so nice if I would get some history about when this stuff. You must enable TEC, can refresh the smart short. It is here. Raw read. No performance. I don't know why. It would have been really nice if I would get the configuration and device information. Why the hell doesn't give me the chance to demonstrate you that this is used hard drive that was sold? That's very important. As I progress further, I'm gonna try out other programs. So that's not gonna work. I'm gonna demonstrate you the original video about this crap. So yeah, you can see that on one tape I did manage to video record that this was 17 prior hours in use. Okay, so if it does not give me, let's do it's called a disk self-test. The name of the program that you see here, it's called a disk checkup. It's recommended. So this is extended test, and I'm going to abort this shit and I'm gonna start a short test like this. We're gonna start now. There you go. So we are doing, this is the second program that works, functions just like a Seagate tools that would like to do the self-test, disk self-test. It's known as a short test, and it no longer should take than 5 minutes to complete. Visual like this, so that you can see right there. So this is a second program. %, just the way you see it. %. It works nice all the way to 90%. It looks like everything is legitimate, everything is normal. And here is where I'm going to turn the clock on, basically. We're going to get to 90% and then you can just go retarded, man, waiting for something that will never complete. This program is not a good program, and it's not good because it doesn't tell, hey, by the way, this disk it's a faulty disk, it doesn't work. Like the Seagate gave the message that it's no good. After 5 minutes, they give you the message that it failed the test. But here you're gonna see right now the time is 6:21, and now we're gonna wait until 16:21. Right now the time is. We're gonna wait until 16:30. We're gonna give him, in other words, 9 minutes of time to complete just 10% of it. And you know that's not okay because it says right there it's 1 to 5 minutes to complete. So this is the second software program that is a failure. There aren't that many out there for you to use in the first place. There aren't that many out there for you to use in the first place. A little bit disappointed about this Sentinel. That's a very famous program also. That would be also very nice if I could get the results out of it. But I guess it doesn't give me, which I might, even during the course of this video, or what I might do is I might actually, once I'm done testing with this stuff, I might create separately also video and manage somehow to download the right version that will allow me to do that type of testing. And then what I'll do is I'll just use that one and attach one to this video, like a little extension, so that you can see. The minimum requirement for the hard drive, you know what the quality inspection is, I'm sure. It always have to go through the quality inspection department, whatever it is that you make out there, whether that be a car or whatever product that you make, you have quality assurance, quality inspection people that make sure that prior to release to the public for use, they test that product would fulfill the requirements of the manufacturer, you know, minimum requirements. In this case, as you see, I cannot even obtain minimum requirements of the manufacturer that I would demonstrate that it's working or anything like that. Truly pathetic stuff. So I am not going to be talking to you about this stuff no more. I'm going to wait. As I move along, it's very important for me to demonstrate to you that the hard drive was in use already for 17 hours before it was delivered to me, sold to me. Man, they were playing with these hard drives, doing all kinds of crazy stuff, and this hard drive could well be a junk that was used during MKUltra to intimidate with, terrify with. Might be exactly the same kind of junk. Just like a Chinese Communist Party Central Committee, they also have a Central AliExpress Communist Committee, where they assemble the garbage based on the country's requirements with whomever they made a deal. Like I said, they sell more than products. They sell political garbage. They sell genocide. That is the truth about the Chinese communism. And then the people wonder about why everything became so deplorable, why everything is falling apart. Because they're more vicious than what, as they refer to, is a capitalist society. They became, if you ask me, they became a new reason for the neo-Nazism. They are the reason, they give the reason for the Nazism, to reappearance of the Nazism, Zionism, stuff that you see is taking place in Gaza. It always starts with the communism somehow. I have also observed the Chinese Communist Party people to not sell the same type of or maintain the same type of trade way with the African countries. I realized that during the course of this MKUltra bestiality performed on me, that they would be eventually giving new products for the cost of what it would be sold to me in the future. Yeah, for the cost of whatever I would pay in the future for the product. Old, used, worn out product, in one case, even that appeared from somebody who was testing the products in Africa, who was also involved in MKUltra. To me, used, old, and even worn out. And as I was told, he would be entitled to a brand new everything the way it's supposed to be. So Chinese communists decided they're going to be selling a mental illness, a schizophrenia, paranoia, psychiatry, forced psychiatry around the world for the cost of your loyalty, basically, to their manufacturing. It is low cost. It's very useful, I would say, in many cases. But as I came to realize that when it comes to expensive products, they have a tendency to fuck you and charge you, well, they make up for everything that garbage they sold you that is broken, used, worn out, through the single theft of the tablet or a hard drive. You know, they target whatever is expensive. You know, you will get used, old, worn out watches. I never got almost a single product from AliExpress that would be new. I paid everything as new and I got everything used, old, worn out. But when it comes to the expensive products, if you're going to commit yourself to a hard drive or to a tablet or something like this, even a telephone, what's going to happen is they're going to give you old, used, worn out, not even I pay for the 10-inch tablet, they give me 8-inch tablet instead of that. Old, used, worn out. Nothing based on specifications they advertised. You know? And when it comes to hard drive, which is extremely sensitive, as you know, that's a data that you can use. Then you're going to get something like this. Or maybe even worse, who knows. That's why it's so important that when you get the package, folks, you make sure that you double check, that you make damn sure, man, that you log, that it can be seen on a camera, that you went with the scissors that you open right there in front of the computer, the whole fucking thing. That's how disgusting this stuff is. Otherwise they're going to say, oh no, it was somebody else who opened or whatever, and so on. You got to make sure you have a camera on the package right there. You open it and you test it right there. You don't stop recording till you actually prove that it's old, used, worn out, and even defective. The brainwash during MKUltra on how to see these products, that's basically a Novo Mesto animals from Novo Mesto police station here, the Slovenian animals in blue. I call them animals in blue, the Slovenes. To the brainwash portion of it, with a Chinese barricaded inside of this house together with Americans, Germans, British, French, and all others from around the world, Indian, Russians. They refer to that portion as a schizophrenia, that basically as something non-existing, demanded from me to keep silent about it. For the practical portion of it, when it comes to future buying from AliExpress, they told me, you're better off buying nothing. Do not buy anything. When it was all done with it, in 2017, now 2000, and once it became evident that this case is indisputably proven case, which happened in 2018, they started to insist that I should never buy anything from China, and etc., etc., etc. Knowing that if I will, all the garbage that went on during MKUltra, the lynching, the stuff they were doing, torture, including inside of the Chinese factories, inside of the Chinese seller offices, companies, will come out on the surface. And once I would start to talk about that stuff, it would be like unlimited, endless truth-telling about the modern Chinese miracle, communist miracle. It's interesting, right? Because the communists are the people that supposedly side with the poor, impoverished, persecuted, and that kind of stuff. You can go fucking dream about it. Dream about it. My mother, my father, my grandfather, everybody in my family from both sides of family were communists, enrolled in a communist party. That's why I like to talk about the communism. I love to talk about the communism because I know in and out about the communism. Few people know about the communism as much as I do. Grew up next to Yugoslav communist Josip Broz Tito.
Kardel.
Kardel.
Ja, Kardel Ranković.
Pro mama.
From duše.
Mother is listening, and he also wants to be part of the video, I guess. So she's laughing at me, you know. Like I said, none of this stuff would have happened without my parents, without my father and my mother. None of it. The closer the family to you, the more dangerous when it comes to the case like this, when it comes to Illuminati involvement, because it's exactly through them they obtain the clearance for extermination procedure. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can see here we went past 10 minutes to about maybe even 13 minutes that went past, and you can see clearly that this thing did not work. Just like that. Karmahe, karmahe, mahe. Oh, mommy is so angry. So I'm going to stop here with this. We have to abort this procedure. You have to admit it's plenty enough of this. Case here is proven. We can do also the extensive test. Why the hell not extensive test? This is just 10 minutes to complete. But if you did not complete the extensive short self-test, why the hell will complete the extensive test? I mean, this is just 10% that did not even complete, and so let's go to the next program. The Chinese Communist Party would not recognize this kind of software anyways, because it's not very famous software, I guess. They need some kind of names. It's called This Checkup. It's probably not good enough for the Chinese Communist Party. Whatever it might be. Okay, they did not like, they wanted, like, you know, famous stuff is how they want it. They claim that that's it. It's gotta be. Okay, so let's see what else do we have here in my little. We have a crystal disc mark. We have a disc checkup. Driver identifier, no. Hard disk Sentinel, I am gonna get this one for sure separately. Smart disk checker is a smart disk checker. Is this one here? We're gonna go with a smart disk, smart, very, very smart, with a smart disk checker. There you go, tickety tick. There you go. This one, of course, you have to pay for it, something like that, and it's not gonna do anything. Come on. This here. We're gonna perform the quickie, and it's not gonna do it because you need to pay money for this. I have an account. Please enter the email, the password. Create an account to create professional diagnostic report. Activate SDC Pro. Lost internet access required to activate SDC Pro. Please enter the email and the password received. I don't know if we should do this, but Disk checkup. Disk checkup. Disk checkup. Yeah, we did that one. I don't know what this is here. This is nothing really. Okay. Let's try with this one. Oh shit. Really? So that's to give you the pro subscription plans, discover subscription plans, discover. Hell, I can try this thing here. Smith. Aha, okay. Yeah. So let's just go here and try to just a private user. It's exactly the opposite. I don't care. It's okay. I'll probably have to just go here and you will go here, activate this stuff here. I don't even know how the hell I got here, but alright man, so this is I don't know what this is. This is like password, I guess. That's what that is. I was gonna write down how many of this. Babes, I try to activate. Successful. Your pro version has been activated. Okay. Customer reference none. I'm gonna put here Bobby and start the test. Okay, so we have the ability to test. I don't know if this is good enough for the Chinese Communist Party, but there you go. We have ability to test it out. There you go. Quick zone test. I'm not really happy about the quick zone test. I don't like to get the whole thing to see. Factory test. What the hell is the zone test? Zone test is nothing. Zone test is like precisely exactly using your Windows, I believe. It's not really adequate. I have to argue this stuff. This is garbage. This is the same thing like you would go and use the Windows. The reading test is completed, result good, customer name. That's really not good. That's really not good. This was not a test. This is not the way you test the hard drive. Okay? Oh my goodness, customer details, start a test. Please fill in the following fields to create your diagnostic report. Customer name and company. Okay, I guess I have to repeat the same thing. Ah, shit. Okay, this is what I need to see. That's what we need to see now. Except that this shit is gonna be all night and all day long, I think. The estimated remaining time is going to be 1 hour and 52 minutes. Shit, that's a whole lot of time. That's a lot of time, man. What the hell is that stuff right there? Green, and then it's not so green. It's like bluish green. What the hell is this shit? Progression. Full reading test. Huh. So this is basically gives you a full diagnostic, full reading test. This shit is gonna run for about 2 hours, I guess. Damn it. I'm not even sure if I want to proceed with this stuff right now, because we have other stuff that we can use, you know. Crystal. We have a crystal. We have this kind of stuff. I should say we have better than that. We have this kind of stuff here. This one here, this baby here, Crystal Dual World. Damn it. And let's see this stuff here. Are you sure you want to completely remove the crystal disk info? No, really not. I want to get the information so that I can really, so it's gonna do that kind of stuff to me, this stuff, really. Crystal disk mark is this one here, but this is not it. This is not it. This is totally different. Yeah. Crystal disk mark, forget about this here. Well, damn it, crystal dual first 3D benchmark. Why the hell do I always have to go through this kind of stuff? Seriously. Yeah, this shit. I have to go and do this again? Damn it. Let's do this one here. See, it's what I don't like. I do accept it, yes, thank you. Create a desktop shortcut. No, we're not gonna do that. Install. Because it's already installed, this crap. I mean, why do we have to do it again? You know? So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a pretty sharp way to see what's going on, and it's also a famous company, this one here, Crystal Disk Information. Right. This is this baby here who just rip everything that is or is not good about a certain disk. Eventually is gonna have to come out for what it is. Okay. Power on, it's 22 hours now. Because that's all it is. It's all being tested all the time. That's what I'm using one. Since the disk had 17 hours, that's what I'm using the disk for, is basically to test one out. That's what that is, you know. Anyhow, how the hell is this thing here progressing? Very colorful, very colorful. I don't know what it means, but NB blocks. Let's see what that means. NB blocks. How to fix back sector on the drive. Shit, at least I'm learning about what is good and what is bad. Bad blocks on the hard drive. How to check for fix bad blocks on the hard drive. Windows 11. Bad blocks on the hard drive. How the hell do you know which are good and which are bad? Let's see this here. See, I don't know what is good and what is bad. So here, I got a feeling this is actually going to be good. This stuff here. This probably it's not so bad. Run as administrator. Do bad block. Bad blocks on a hard drive. What the hell is good and what is bad? How the hell do you know? They don't tell anything about the color of the marking. So SDC, so that's is he gonna give some alright, so this is another one here. But it doesn't tell you what's damaged and what's not damaged, you know. That's what I don't like. Aha, so the red would be bad, right? So whatever, I guess whatever is in the green, it might still even be good, acceptable somehow, right? Yeah, now I understand. Now I understand. NB blocks. 150 ms. What is the 150 ms? Boy, there are quite a few. 34 of those. Well, let's see this here. Shit, if I could at least pause this thing, that would be a really breakthrough. And I won't even do that. Time spent 10 minutes and 29. It still remains with 1 hour and 45 minutes. What I will do, fuck this. What I will do is, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna stop this stuff, I'm gonna complete other tests, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna also do this one here. What the hell can I do other than this? I mean, it's a full diagnostic, I guess, is this here. That's just a reading test. That's a reading test. Shit. I'm not even proving anything with this stuff, am I? Huh, huh, huh. Completely healthy SSD has no blocks. One hour and 56 minutes. What the hell do I do with this shit? I think I'm going to perform the stuff that you watch right there completely separately. It's such an extensive test that I am not gonna be doing this shit. %, 15 minutes. we're talking about 150 minutes in that case, not at least, so that's not good. Yeah, we're not going to be doing this stuff right now. I am going to stop this. I have to stop this. Yeah. I have to stop this stuff. Stop diagnostic. And I'm going to have to do this separately. There is no other way other than to do this stuff separately. And as a matter of fact, probably that I can continue this stuff even. Let me see if I can continue this. No, it's going to force me to do it again. Let's just go and do this stuff here. This is the stuff that I need to learn about. This is the kind of stuff that I need to learn about. Auto refresh, rescan, hide, resident startup alert, advanced, open disk management, copy, save file, health status is good. So relocated sectors remaining live, health status setting threshold. What the hell is this actually? Forget about this stuff here. Edit, function, refresh, rescan, hide resident startup. I don't understand how come but copy option, refresh, rescan. Graph, hide serial number, resident startup. Health status, auto detection, advanced disk search. I really do not understand, because this was supposed to give me the ability to test the hard drive, and I think that I don't have this kind of ability because I think that it's an old version of I think it's a garbage version. I think it's outdated program. Crystal disk info. Get them out. And let's get this one here going. Launch Crystal Disk information, visit our website. Would not want to do that. Okay, so this is the one in question. Disk. Hide smart information. Hide information, AMD enable, volume, rate, volume only, enable all disk, disable, walk around, open disk, this, that, edit, okay. Yeah, it's very good. It's very good. Very fucking good. How the fuck do you know if it's good if you don't even test the fucking thing? It's called the Crystal. Hey, I don't even understand this stuff. Hey, hell, I was sure that this is what I was using. I don't wanna fail in this stuff here. So it does not have. So this is garbage then in that case. Unbelievable. I thought that this we're gonna take this hard disk Sentinel Pro. I like to get this one here going. This would be very nice. This would be the one I would really want to test it out. Yeah, I like this better. This here, this baby here, this is what I need. This is what I want. Yeah, unbelievable. It would not give me a chance to... Aha, yeah. They want me to register myself. If we have to register it, we're gonna register it. I think it's worth it every dime to take 2 minutes of time and do it. Free trial, yeah. So, okay. I'm gonna do it. Unregistered version, please register. Is it gonna actually fucking do it? There you go. We got, ladies and gentlemen, we got a hard disk Sentinel 610 Pro. There you go, doing the shit. By the way, running, no problems found. There you go. Very nice. If it's a no problems found, and then it's a no problemo for me, but I know this is never going to go past 90%. I know it's going to fail as hell. And this is going to be the 3rd program already that will demonstrate a failure of this disk. I would love nothing more than for this garbage to work, but it will not. That's the thing. It would have been fantastic if this thing would work. Whether that was a manufacturer, whether that was a seller who was here inside. This was rather a skinny Chinese guy. It appeared to be quite tall, actually. IT guy. This shit here, this is what I need to see. This is the stuff that I need to know. This is the stuff that I need to see. This one here, this. It looks like it completed a test, look at that. But did it really? There is just 1 minute remaining. And this minute, this minute is gonna turn into... You can stay here, wait for this all you want until tomorrow or the day after. That's all there is to it. Kapushko. It's not gonna work. I already tested with that program too. It does not work. 90% is the golden rule. It's a garbage hard drive indeed, yes. So now you see how that goes, you see what this is, and you also have a reputable brand, right? This hard disk Sentinel, that's, I believe that you trust that at least. Just for me to turn on the time here, like this, so you have a nice little clock that can work for you. I will be back in about 10 minutes. Therefore, the time right now is 17:11. I will be back at about 17:20, something like that, so that you can see this. Let me explain to you something more about this hard drive. The man who sold me this hard drive told me just by using it the way I'm using it right now, the way I'm using the hard drive, very soon, sooner than not, it's going to start to fail. Literally had a problem with a hard drive after he was using this hard drives for I don't know, and it was just problems basically. So, as you see right there, it's a long minute. I am not gonna go and drive you insane. I know you do understand that it's a minute that never ever will come to an end. It's right there, as you see already. 16 minutes that passed by. Well, I'm gonna go for about another 7 minutes with this. Just as I said, I'll come back at 17:30 in this case, and we're gonna continue from there. This is a crap, ladies and gentlemen. A crap. I might try this, I might not try this. There is another one here. It's called GS Smart Control, G Smart Control. Have another one here. Yeah, that's a G Smart Control. The IT individual who sold me this stuff, this Chinese engineer, a taller guy, I would say about maybe even 180 centimeters tall, yeah, skinny guy. I think he was an IT guy, engineer. I think he got his university together. He was testing everything that you see here. He was testing in front of me. He tested out this here. This here came out for him pretty good. And it also was this one here that came out for him pretty good. In other words, he was searching desperately for any software that would pose trouble for him. And he was doing this on behalf of the manufacturer, on behalf of the factory, which had sellers, future sellers of these products, literally do job for them, testing job for them. This is the way they do the stuff in China. Anything that the future buyers would test and pound, and it would be a problem. The problem, as he stated, is if the hard drive keeps working, it will fail. Eventually, this is the hard drive that, if it's used for some time straight, like this, he had a problem with doing this stuff. He insisted that by testing it, the hard drive could even fail. Or maybe it was simply hiding a fact about the hard drive itself, which, as you see, it's quite a garbage. So it's a long minute that's left. We are now almost at 30. I am gonna stop this because it doesn't make sense. It's already past 30 here. We're gonna stop this stuff here. We're gonna stop this thing. It makes no purpose. It says it's running and the problems are not found. Yes, absolutely it is. Let me give you a view so that you can see how it's running. Yeah, it's running right there. It's running. Sure. Just the way you see it, exactly the way you see it. It's running. And we're gonna stop this here. Boom, cancel. Stop this crap. This did not pass the test for obvious reasons. We're gonna go to this one here. I don't know what that is. Extra tests, right? Sequential, right? Whatever. Micron, it is selected, and we're gonna start. We're gonna start this kind of stuff to see how this is, what exactly do we get this. But then exactly what the hell is this shit? This is again some kind of a short Windows-like test from what I see. This is almost like a Windows, something like that. This hard drive is not capable to complete self-test, and that's the bottom line. I don't even know what exactly that is, but it doesn't even tell you anything. you're gonna have again this here. Now, I want the self-test. Self-test is what I want. This is what I want. I want the self-test. Short self-test. This is what I want. This is the stuff that I want. This is what's interesting. This is what is important for me. It's now 23 hours that this hard drive is on. And it was started, the first time the hard drive was started, already with the 17 hours. And that's the way it was sold to me. It was sold to me with the 17 hours in use. And this is what I want. I want the manufacturer is self-test. That's what I want. It's year 2025. It is December of 2025. We are almost in 2026. And I know what I want. And I want it now. just as the way you see it, 90% is completed. The last 10% will never complete. As you see, it makes no sense to waste time on last 10%. This is what you see. What you see here is I'm going to multiply that for you. This is the screen right here. This is right in front of me. This is what you get. this stuff here. This is what we get here. And you see what this is? It's a test completion 90. I don't even know what that is. It looks like it's actually, yeah, no, it's 90%. It's 90%. For a moment, I thought I saw a number 9096. It's a 90%, which is going to last for as much as time you have to waste. That's all there is to it. That's your hard drive. Emmanuel Macron took a very, very strong stand against me. The French president who was involved in torture not only in France, but believe it or not, even in China. Welcome by the Chinese Communist Party. Actually, very, very welcome by the Chinese Communist Party. Emmanuel Macron became inventors of the hard drives. Learned a whole lot about the hard drives and everything. Had his French team advising him. I think that I think the man is as corrupt as anybody can be possibly corrupt. I think that he is easy to buy, like 1, 2, 3. A little bit money, flaunt, and that's it. Bye bye, my Macron. Yep, that's this here. Try to see if I have some other program, software, something that I can demonstrate to you this short self-test issue. Emmanuel Macron claimed, for the sake of Chinese, that some manufacturer just don't have this kind of function integrated in the hard drive. And the Chinese communists really, really appreciate it. We could say the Chinese are literally selling this type of hard drives thanks to the French. And of course, I'm quite sure that the French profited in some other way. So do you see what this case was used for? This case was used for all kinds of financial crime, brokerage, mega brokerage. What should even be sold was in this case sold through the French, which convinced the rest of the NATO, European Union, American team that it's in their best interest to keep their mouth shut and see nothing, hear nothing. That's how it works. That's how this is. So, let me see if I can get some other scrap here. Anything else that I can get that we could be using. This is known as short self-test. Do you know what it means, the short self-test? 90%? Getting stuck at 90%, do you know what that means? It often means a slow spot, bad sector. So the sectors that I was talking about, the bad spot, the sector would be somewhere right here in the end. So the Chinese were very smart. Basically, first 90%, as you would scan this, obviously it works okay, but the last 10% is not okay. And listen to this shit. If at least the quick test pass, the drive might still be okay. You can try running the extended test when the system is idle. Use other diagnostic tool HDD scan for deeper scans or check smart data for potential imminent failure. As a stuck test suggests a minor issue or temporary bottleneck. We did. We used the Crystal info, we use the Seagate tools. That's all the hell I need. I don't need anything else here. The case is proven. So just as you see, this continues to work and work and work, and that's all there is to it. That's what the hell you get. That's the report right there. Did you see it? It's not an Android, that's a computer. What the hell is this? Western Drive dashboard. G Smart, we did the G Smart. It appears it's recognized and All right. Now let's get this. Yeah, let's get then this baby here is gonna be the last one I'm gonna play with here. How long have I been recording this shit for? 2 hours and 20 minutes. So now you see how cheap the Chinese hard drive is. Emmanuel Macron claimed is the cheapest. So, oh, check this out. Check this out. It says right there that the test is aborted. Nice. You're gonna love this part here. We don't need no desktop for that. What do they say? Cannot parse SparkCTL output, invalid JSON data, JSON except parse error, parse error at line 263, column 13, syntax error while parsing object key, unexpected end of input, expected steering literal, check the self-test log for more information. To complete the installation, Kitfox Ellen must restart your computer. Would you like to restart? No. Hell no. So, ladies and gentlemen, you were able to see that 90%, those 10%, took a long way to go. Retarded way to go. I am going to close this baby. I want to say thanks to this, whatever G-Smart control is. I recommend it also as a test tool. You were able to see I was only using whatever is the best that can be offered out there for the testing options. G-Smart control, bye-bye, thank you. Is it WD Kitten, whatever that is? Well, is it like, what the hell is it? I mean, he doesn't want to load itself. Okay, I'll just do additional one. We'll see if I can get something else, anything else. No, just have this one here. It must be already here. I'm gonna try this one. There you go. There you go. We got JMicron generic. This is the one. We're gonna do testing tools. What the hell is this? Read data without transfer. Read data to the host. Butterfly. Read data to the host with 6. I don't know what that is. Write special pattern destructive. No. We just want the short test. I don't care about that stuff. So this is known as a HDD scan. Okay, there's plenty stuff they start to offer. And I don't want to get into test your hard drive for free with a HDD scan Windows, that's too long. Oh yeah, no, maybe it's not. This guy was involved in MK Ultra, by the way, this man here. Ladies and gentlemen, they literally coordinated software with the Chinese manufacturers.
And today I'm just going to show you a free piece of software that we use down here almost every.
Literally with the Chinese manufacturers, they were using software that they would not even release. They would have them test their products. That's why you need to be so careful with this stuff. Making it easy for the scam to go through, but at the same time warning people. It's like educative, very friendly, very nice approach towards somebody that's not really a good guy.
Button, and then it will read out basically a list of all the things that can go wrong. They will show up with either an exclamation mark or a red X indicating that something is a problem. Otherwise, if they're all green, it's all good. And if you have data that you cannot live without, I'd say even if they're all green, you should probably still have a backup in place. Aside from that, if you have an external hard drive that is a mechanical drive, you can always plug it in and run that software, and it can scan the external drives as well to make sure your backup doesn't also have a problem. And if you have any questions, you can always feel free to give us a call down here at 360-299-2428, and we'll be happy to help you out. We're open on Tuesday.
It doesn't work. Where I click here and the smart doesn't do anything. That's interesting. It just doesn't. J-Micron, you cannot do smart. It appears it's not doing anything. This is weird. I don't need to destroy anything. Scale updates. We're just gonna bye-bye this stuff here. Yeah, and if it's green, you should always still back up the data so that you don't lose one. But this is just a monitoring utility. Certificate disk. This is just Windows utility check disk CMD command. We don't want to be doing this kind of stuff because it doesn't check anything. Increase your income. There you go. Smart checker. We already did this one here. Smart way disk checkup. But I think we did this one also. That's it. I ain't gonna be playing with this stuff no more. I ain't got nothing else to say about this. Disk self-test. That's the one right here. as this thing here. We did this stuff already. You were able to see this is yeah. But yeah, I mean, we can do it one more time, and that's about it. This stuff has been done already. Ladies and gentlemen, everything that is out there that does the factory self-check, that it's free, that is available to the people, the most reputable companies that you can see out there. I tested them all, several of them. I do need the hard drive, and I don't have a lot of money to waste on the hard drive issues, but the thing is that when it's obvious that it's not okay, that it's not doing well, that it's going to fall apart at any time, this is just not worth the investment. You can have the hard drive that lasts you a long time and it's useful, or you can have it garbage. Now for the rest of it, I am going to give you a short commercial for you for the France. Vive la France, et for your President Macron. There you go. You're gonna do it like this. See, you can see that. And there you go. That's a hard drive which Emmanuel Macron advertised me during MK Ultra for this Black Friday sale. This is the way it was during MK Ultra. They pulled out the catalog, the future catalog, the advertisement. They had them from Lidl, Hofer, from all the stores. This here, this is a French La Française Leclerc. This is a Leclerc. And the Leclerc was the one, through the Leclerc they provided. Then they find another store or whatever, German store or whatever it was. Just, oh my god, this is so expensive. Not so expensive, but the Chinese is very, very cheap. It's très bien. It's very good. Yeah, it's cheap. There you go. It's very, very cheap. 1 terabyte and a half. See that right there? 1 terabyte and a half. I paid 43 euros or something, or 42 euros. And the Leclerc in Ljubljana, it will cost you 64 euros. There you go. Voila. 1.5 terabyte Western Drive. Sounds to me like a shit commercial. Really shit commercial, the whole thing. They wanted it, they liked it, they asked for it. Look at that, 9%, 90%, 90%. Now we're gonna stuck right there. Okay? This is a matter of the opinion of the browser. If you go to this one here and you enter the same thing, you will get like this, voila. 90% room. And it will explain to you that the hard drive is about to fail. Probably you don't want to go, it's better probably, I'm not going to say that you would want to go and buy that garbage. That would be a crazy thing to do, but when you consider that you just end up dumping away like 35 euros, I am going to keep this one here with the 500 gigabytes because of course it did pass at least short test. The long test it did not, but at least the factory specification test it did pass. But when it comes to this one here, this garbage here, 2.5 inch, this stuff here, 1 terabyte for 34 euros, 35 euros for this here. I plan not keeping this shit here. This is garbage, trash, garbaggio, not okay. If You cannot do. You as a manufacturer, you're not capable. And this garbage is old. It's outdated. They created a stocks inside of the warehouse, Chinese warehouse. And they kept the garbage for 12 years before releasing one on the market, man. 12 fucking years. This is old, man. Already old. Cold, hot, cold, what inside of the warehouses, shit. Now you have your somnambulist. Emmanuel Macron. Emmanuel Macron. This is Emmanuel Macron. There you go, you have it right there. China University. This is one of my, in a parenthesis, biggest supporters. Sichuan University. This is how Macron was using me to enter China, literally going through the leads where people liked me in China, and that's how he entered this university. And now voila, the impression of Emmanuel Macron in China. Vive le français. You see what this shit is? The crime can take you a long way. You just gotta find a dummy you play to. Torture, killing of people, psychiatry pays It looks like a fucking Beatles came to China right there. But it's not Beatles. It's French President Emmanuel Macron. So you see, crime pays off. Killing people pays off. Totalitarianism pays off. Terrorism pays off. Psychiatry is the most profitable thing in the world. It's a General Motors, Rolls-Royce of the world. Yet they say that MK Ultra doesn't exist. Thanks for watching this dedicated to Chinese Communist Party video. Oh, I did not dedicate one to the Chinese communists. I dedicated this stuff, as you're gonna see other videos below. I dedicated one also to Germans, to the Brussels, to Ursula von der Leyen, who was involved in this. All the garbage that was coming in this house, that wasted, in fact, 54 years of my life, eventually even dumped me into the psychiatric hospital in 2012 after 40 years of MK Ultra butchery, lynching. See? That's a story about the Chinese communist hard drive. That's how it works. I don't have anything else I would say to this stuff. I don't give a fuck about the rest of it. This is a sad story. It's about this one here. This is what you're gonna get as a front picture right here. I'm gonna give it to you. This one here. You're gonna like this here. I remember the seller very good. I remember all the stuff that went on. This is how this misery looks like. This I titled Frau von der Leyen, Frau Misery. Thanks for watching this video. I ain't got nothing else I would add to this garbage. It's a garbage. One more picture. This is a thorough investigation and thorough Chinese, made in China hard drive evaluation. What they do is they create garbage, they sell the garbage whichever way they know. They use a future sellers to along the manufacturing, because they get the sellers literally through the companies. And what they do is they get these sellers that will be as sellers with the good connections to the Chinese Communist Party probably. And basically what they do is they have them evaluate these products along whatever job they do. And then when the time comes, along the way, if they find anything irregular by involving other people in this testing, this is an agent, like a KGB or a CIA agent. It goes out there, it grabs the piece, the hard drive. Let me dump this hard drive out. Eject. It says it's in the use. I'm going to give you the whole technology about what the Chinese are doing, how they are doing about this, how they scam people like this so efficiently. Let me see if I have anything. We're going to play with this later. If I'm going to play with this stuff, I don't think I'm going to be playing with this stuff. Hell no. Save to remove. I can show you this somnambulist. I could play that song known as Insomnia. Someone who walks about in their sleep, that's the name, the somnambulist. It's a classic MK Ultra definition, almost. Except that I fucked you up good. It did not work quite the way you thought you're going to portray me. I was not so crazy, and you were able to see how Macron was welcome in the China, right? That's how you went. You went on the knees in front of the French Macron. Money. It's like this. They use sellers, which are nothing other than equivalent to the KGB or CIA people that go out there and they do espionage, they do industrial espionage, so the government, Chinese Communist Party, can negotiate with the foreign governments. What they do is they bring the garbage, they throw the garbage on a table, and it's all kinds of people that jump on it. They advertise the catalog, the price, extremely nice, extremely tempting, and it's people, they jump on it, they started to test, and what they do is they troubleshoot for the manufacturers through the Chinese Communist Party. That's why I started to talk about the Chinese Communist Party about this. What they do is they find out the problems, the software that they will be encountering as a problem, as a potential threat to the sale of this, to the sale of the garbage. And what they do is they work their way around with the software companies and also with basically through the governments which they interact with, prohibiting foreign governments even from enacting laws that would protect consumers so that consumers could return the faulty products back to China. This is the way it is. This is the truth. This is finally you have it. You pissed me off enough for me to do video on Communist Party, the way you do the business, the way you think you're going to do business, the way you think you do business. I don't know who do you think you had business with, whom you think you interacted with, but that's how I do business. With that being said, I don't have anything else I would say. Thank you very much for watching this video. I don't really give a shit if you watch or not. But this is not for free. You're not going to be practicing on me psychiatry like this, promoting totalitarianism, fascism through the communism.